We are witnessing a leadership crisis, one that is continuing to erode trust. It's deepening the divide in this country, and it is causing harm to our communities. We are watching decisions being made every day that prioritize power over people, control over care, and profits over progress. And the consequences? Well, we feel them every single day. In fact, we're becoming traumatized by them. But there is another way. There is a better way. And before I talk about that, let's just talk about these decisions that are being made. They're being made without transparency or accountability. And let's just take, for instance, the mass firings. To see these people being laid off by the thousands, this is going to have a ripple effect because it affects the families, it will affect those communities, and ultimately it will affect the country. So this shows us that there is a disconnect from the realities that people are facing. Everything that we see being done today is focused on power and not the well-being of others. And we can feel this eroding trust, right? We don't know who to trust. We can't trust the media. We can't trust what's being shared on social media. We don't even know if we should trust our friends and neighbors. And then this causes instability. And with a country that is unstable, eventually things will crumble. But I want you to know that this is not just a political issue. This is a leadership issue. This is something that is happening across the board, not just in governments, but in our corporations, as we can see, in our organizations, businesses, and in our communities. And this has been the normal operating system for us for way too long. We've accepted poor, toxic leadership as part of our way of life. Now, if you know anything about the history of leadership, you may be familiar with what we're seeing here unfolding. And what I see playing out reminds me a lot of Machiavelli's writings, The Prince, right? It's a political manual about power and leadership. Unlike some of the earlier philosophers, like Plato and Aristotle, who emphasized moral virtue, Machiavelli believed that leaders must prioritize power and control to bring about stability, even if that means using deception, manipulation, and force. He believed it's better to be feared than loved, that deception is a leadership tool, and that there's power over, he believes you should have power before democracy. Does any of this sound familiar? I know in a previous video I mentioned to you all that I thought that it was time, we're in a time where we have to do away with some social contracts. But this is one that I think that we either need to rewrite or reconsider. In that leadership, it has a responsibility to protect others, to protect humanity. This sort of thinking comes from thinkers like John Locke, if you're familiar. But the other way to this that I mentioned before, the other way is leadership that doesn't prop anyone up on a pedestal. That one person leader that we had way back when, that we continue to be holding on to. Because I know people were asking, where are the leaders? Where's the leader for this party? Where's the leader? Where's this? We're all here. Because one person alone does not have all the answers, nor can one person save us. But if we have a model of leadership that is rooted in empathy, in purpose, in shared responsibility with a lens on humanity. That is the leadership that we need right now. And that is something that all of us can practice in our daily lives. This is my work with leaders, where I take them through my framework of the pyramid of personal evolution that grounds them in this humanistic approach to leadership, from self-inquiry to self-mastery. Because I think what we're discovering is that leadership is not something that you can just easily teach or easily learn. It is lived. There is no cost for us in just being good people, being kind, being caring. Because the reality is this, the world is shifting. It is shifting right before our eyes. And the old models of leadership are no longer sustainable. Influence without integrity, that's exposed. Power without purpose, that's collapsing. This moment is calling for a different kind of leadership. So we're standing at the threshold of a new era. I'm calling this the new era leaders, right? And the leaders who will define it are those that are going to be bold enough to step up and lead differently. They're going to be the unlikely leaders. Those who recognize that leadership is not just about position, but it's about impact. Those that understand that the true power comes from not from authority, but from aligning with purpose, with people, with a greater vision for what is possible for the future for us. This future will not be shaped by those that are clinging to the outdated paradigms. Believe me, they are holding on for dear life. It will be shaped by those of us who have the courage to step forward and lead from this place of empathy, shared responsibility, wisdom, humanity, and strategy. So as someone that partners with visionary social impact leaders and founders, I'm highly selective about who I will be working with, because it's important that you're someone that leads with integrity. You're leading with a sense of purpose, with a commitment to humanity, because this is the future that we're moving into. So if this resonates with you, let's have a conversation, because the leaders the world needs and are waiting for, they're already here. And it's just time for us to step up to the occasion.